Welcome, horror fiends, to the darkest corner of the podcast world, where we feed your horror addiction and share our love for the genre. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm here with my fellow co-host,
Pat
and Dylan.
So turn off your lights, lock the door, and listener beware. Let the horror begin. Did you like that?
That was cool.
That was cool, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. New intro, different. Someone turned the lights off, turn the lights on. Oh, man. It feels good to be back. Another week, another episode. We got a fun one planned for you. But, as always, guys, how was your week? How are you guys doing?
Pat, you want to tell us?
I'm getting my car back this week.
Where'd it go?
I was in a shop for 3 months.
Pat killed a deer. Pat committed
Oh,
murder.
I hit it the second time I ever been in an accident. Both times was with a fucking deer.
So there's a mission out there where Pat and deers are just on an internal war with each other.
There's a hit list in the forest.
The first time was when I was living in my
Pat's
car.
face on it. Yeah.
Oh, God, when you were living in your car?
Yeah, remember that?
Remember that? Remember those times, listeners? When Pat was living in his car?
Look at him now, living in a castle.
Yeah.
He's moved on up. It's because of all these deers he's out here just murking.
Yeah, no, they really need to get that moat finished so that deer won't cross the moat and hit Pat's car.
We're joking, but seriously, Pat lays in his bed at night terrified because it's just the deer from Adventure Times that pulls off the hooves and it has little pins just waiting for him in the darkness. Ah, shit.
I still love that image of just a deer pulling off his fingers.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
it did the thing with its fingers. I do the same thing when I see a fresh box of Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm just getting the fingers start to twirl.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't ever want to look at a person like that. That's just
No.
you don't.
That's
want
unsettling. They don't know what to expect from you.
Just in the distance. Just oh boy.
Oh, man. Well, if you're new to the show, welcome. Like you said, we're the Horror Junkies, and we like to do some fun things with the horror genre and talk about movies that we love. We love to talk about movies that you guys love and, have a fun time while we're doing it. This week we got a fun show planned for you. We're going to do something different. If you've been a long-time listener, you know that we normally do 2 movies per episode.
One time we did 4.
One time we did 4. But this time, we're going to kick it back and try doing it where it's a 1-movie review so we can do a more in-depth conversation about the movie we observed and kind of talk about the things we loved, what we didn't love, and give you guys a more better content-oriented show, if you will. But before we get into any of that sweet, cool jazz, as always, Patrick, what's new in the horror world right now this week?
Beetlejuice 2 just announced that they're having Willem Dafoe and Jenna Ortega is going to be joining the Beetlejuice 2. So that's cool. Who do you guys think they're going to be playing in this new Beetlejuice movie? Because we know Michael Keaton's coming back as Beetlejuice because I don't think anyone else could play that role.
Nope.
No.
Maybe Willem Dafoe could do it, but like an old... I was thinking maybe Beetlejuice's dad.
Like a Lars von Trier Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There's a fourth movie in that trilogy, and it's actually it's a Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
But it's super fucked up. Didn't they say that I've seen a little poster going around. I doubt it's legit.
Yeah.
Oh, the AI poster?
Yeah, but I mean, it does confirm Jenna Ortega and Michael Keaton, but like Winona Ryder's got to come back.
Definitely.
I mean, she's got to come back, and
she's a legacy character.
And Catherine O'Hara was on that AI flyer, and I was like, damn, could they? God, I would love it if Catherine O'Hara was back in it. I've heard Johnny Depp might be in it somehow, some way. I mean, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be very, very.
Well,
big
it's
deal.
no, we haven't had anything. They were supposed to do a movie in the 90s, I think, of Beetlejuice going tropical.
Oh man!
Jeez.
Well, I guess we got the cartoon.
Yeah, no, the
cartoon.
cartoon. You guys remember the cartoon? That shit was so. It was so good.
The cartoon was good. The cartoon was fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, I watched it all the time.
I mean, I definitely think Winona Ryder's going to come back. I think she kind of has to. I mean, if they're like, have they kind of hinted at what Jenna Ortega's character is going to be for the movie? Is she going to be?
I don't think so, but I'm
probably going to be another like Lydia Dietz type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably Lydia's daughter or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that's what I was
very
thinking.
good at playing Wednesday. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited that Jenna Ortega's in this because I think when I think of Beetlejuice and I think of the atmosphere and the environment they created with the characters, I think Jenna Ortega right now is the only person I would see fit being Lydia's daughter. But William Dafoe, that one I'm the most excited for because
I hope
I
he
love
plays,
him.
I hope he plays the sandworm.
no.
You hope he just plays a sandworm? No, I need him to be a pivotal character in this movie.
No, let him.
What was that? What was it called? The world after where Alec Baldwin and his wife Gina Davis where they went afterwards. It had a name, didn't it? Like that department. I can't remember.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember it either. But maybe he's like the head of whatever department.
That would be funny. He's the new like dead counselor. Like he's June. He's the new June.
Yeah,
that would be funny. William Dafoe
the actress
is just
who played June was perfect for that.
perfect.
Role. Yeah,
I love William Dafoe, and I think that him being a part of this franchise now is just going to be something that we've never maybe noted that we wanted. And since he's just a bizarre character in all of his movies, I think it's going to be a cherry on top for this Beetlejuice 2.
I would love to do a top 5. All of us do a top 5 Tim Burton movie list.
Okay,
that'd be cool.
And I mean, and if we ever like, if one of us says one that we have on our list, then the other person can just go, oh, I have it at this spot, and then like we can kind of go back and forth because that's how I did our top albums list on my other podcast that I do. Is we just because obviously we're gonna have some of the same ones.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's no way that we would each of us would have 5 completely different Tim Burton movies. Not saying it couldn't happen.
Hey, does anyone have Dumbo as number 1? Because that's my number 1.
It is
Dumbo.
No, God no.
No, we definitely have to do that. That'd be a lot of fun, Dylan. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Plus, it's Tim Burton movies, and I love watching them. So hell yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
It'd be cool if we could live stream that somehow.
Well, we can definitely live stream. We have the capabilities.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we can make an event.
Get some other nerds' opinions in there.
What was that?
Huh?
What would you say? Some nerds?
Get some nerds' opinions.
Some nerds?
Some nerds, some virgins, some dweebs.
He didn't pick up the punchline.
He didn't pick up the punchline. It's okay. It's okay.
I didn't?
No.
It wouldn't be the first time.
It's okay.
It's okay.
There's still time. Hey, you guys, remember the movie Teeth?
Yes.
Did you ever think, hey man, maybe there should have been more musical notes in this movie?
No.
Well, we're getting it. Teeth is getting the musical Broadway shit. Who cares?
Wait, so
the fact that this has happened. Yeah, no,
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Teeth? Oh man, we got to make you watch it now. Stop doing this.
No,
we gotta make you
I'm
watch
not watching Teeth. I'm not watching that crap.
Wow.
And again, Dylan will be coming over to my house to watch something disgusting.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
If the internet
if
the internet says they want you to do it,
you got to do it.
Dylan, you got to do it.
That's not true.
You got to.
Message you want to send?
Yes.
Yes.
To our young, impressionable, sweet listeners, that if the internet says it's cool, if everyone thought that way, everybody would be dead from eating Tide Pods.
I ate one and I'm still kicking.
Of course you did, Mike.
Of course you did.
It looks like a gummy.
I was hangry.
Dylan, first off, Teeth is a wild movie. So
I bet.
I mean,
it says it's a comedy horror. I found nothing funny about that fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think
being a man, I bet you didn't.
True.
I mean, maybe it is kind of funny. Like when she does it, it's kind of funny because she makes this little face and she's like, and like it just like chomp. I guess like that part is kind of comical.
I guess it's dark humor, but
yeah, definitely.
I
don't know.
You know what? Actually, an image is popping in my head about that movie. Remember the crab with the dick?
Yes,
that is funny. All right.
Funny.
It's a comedy horror.
It's a comedy horror. Like, listen,
God,
I ain't laughing.
Because you don't know what we're talking about.
Because
Exactly.
because I'll never know because I'll never watch it.
Listen,
No, you're going to.
if it can do better than Cannibal the Musical, or just right there of that's my bar for these weird, funny comedy horror movies. Like, if you can do it just like Cannibal the Musical, then I'm here for it, because that shit was absolutely bonkers. And it was
What is
fun.
Cannibal the Musical?
Excuse
We asked the same
me?
question.
You guys said, unless I'm saying it the wrong way, let me just type it up. But I'm pretty sure Cannibal the Musical, it's a fucking thing. It's a fucking cult horror movie by Trey Parker, about a movie about the only person convicted of cannibalism in America. But it's ridiculous. Like, you guys, Trey Parker, it's South Park. Like, the guy who did South Park is.
I did not know.
So
I didn't know.
Yeah, me neither.
It's
I know the Mormon
ridiculous
stuff.
Yeah, well, now you know. So if you didn't know, now you know. Trey Parker did a movie called Cannibal the Musical, and it's absolutely stupid, and it's hilarious.
Okay.
Par for the course.
We got some Scream 7 or Scream 8, I guess now. Or Scream 7, sorry. Yeah. Scream 7 news. It's getting delayed.
Already?
It's getting delayed.
Well, of course it's getting delayed. They just made 6.
I'm not exactly fiending for 7 just yet.
Me either. Yeah, let that fucking simmer.
No matter when it comes out, I'll be like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Another.
I mean, I expected it, because it feels like what they're doing is like they're playing off the original trilogy, like with Scream 6 kind of mirroring a lot of Scream 2. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that Scream 7 is gonna mirror Scream 3. So
yeah, I think it's because of the writer's strike. A lot of the actors that are supposed to come back their other projects have been pushed back.
Yeah.
Yada yada, you know how it goes, and they're not gonna make another Scream movie without Jenna Ortega. It's not gonna happen. Wait.
No, definitely not.
They're gonna wait.
No fucking way.
She's I guess is she the new Scream Queen? I guess.
I mean, she hasn't really screamed, so
No, but like in horror, like she's like, I guess, the new final girl. Guess whatever.
She's the new final girl, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't classify her as a Scream Queen just because she hasn't been in a movie. I could be wrong, where she's like screaming, which, like, that's what that's how they get that label. They do a scene where they scream really loud. Jimmy Lee Curtis, all of them.
I'll tell you who might be somebody who's definitely worth being considered in that category is the actress who played Mindy Meeks. Because she's in Yellow Jackets, and she's in Scream 6, and she was in Midnight Club, and she was in Leftovers.
So
like,
yeah,
she's in a lot of in like a lot of like horror stuff, like a ton, and she's great in all of them.
So that's also with the delay is her as well, because she's in Yellow Jackets. I think they are also
everything's
pushed back because of the writer's strike, and they definitely, it's the new Randy. They need it. She needs to come back.
No, she's her and her brother are vital characters for me for that.
I have not watched Yellow Jackets yet. I want to.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah,
same.
All of y'all over here talking about, oh, Dylan, watch the cannibal stuff, Dylan. Oh, you're such a wuss, Dylan. You haven't watched any of the cannibal shit. You do. Why don't you enjoy watching people be gross? And but I'm watching Yellow Jackets, a literal show about cannibals. I got my mother to watch it, and she loves it.
I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, no, same.
I don't want to.
Yeah, no, exactly.
My mom
I'm too.
She called me and she goes, "I didn't know about the cannibal stuff," and I was like, "Yeah, it gets wilder. It really does. Season 2, it gets wilder, but she is strapped. Her and my dad both are strapped in, just like every night. Just
oh my god, I love.
You know what else? My Pat. I don't know if you've seen it, Mike, but me and Pat have been going back and forth about this. Bub Kiss. Have you finished it?
Not yet. I'm finishing
it tonight. My dad texted me. He goes, Bub Kiss is fucking hilarious. I can only imagine he saw the first scene in the first episode.
Speaking of Bub Kiss,
I don't want to say it. I want Mike to watch it. It's very
Speaking of Bum Kiss, I'm rewatching for like the 6th time The Sopranos.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Jesus.
man. Can't go wrong with that.
No, never.
Gabagool.
Oh. Oh, we'll get to him.
All right. What else, Pat? What else is going in the horror world?
Hey, you guys remember that Cry Wolf movie back in like the early 2000s?
Yeah, it's fucking badass. I could be remembering wrong, but I remember that movie being awesome.
We should do a review on that.
We should. Is that the one that's at the school dance?
No, it's in a college, like a college campus, and in the library.
Yeah,
it is in a school. So you were right there. It's just older adults.
Because it was Cry Wolf and Wolf Creek. I got both of them mixed up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, no."
That if we ever go, depending on how we do it, because some weeks we'll do 2 movies. Depending if we're trying to do the theme, because Dylan loves themes.
Well, I like to
Behind
do like
the Mask with Cry Wolf. They both take place in like a college library setting.
That'd be cool.
Behind the Mask. Oh, that movie.
Mm-hmm. That movie, which is amazing.
I don't think I've seen it.
My God, Dylan.
There's a lot of things I haven't seen.
Apparently so. We got to fix that.
Well, as long as it's not gross.
It's a slasher, so it's gonna be gross.
Oh, man. Can't eat the snacks when I'm watching it. It's bullshit.
There was one thing I wanted to point out, Patrick. I don't know if you're going to bring it up now, but I posted about it the other day during the weekend on the social medias. But Peacock announced that there's a new series coming out on their streaming platform with A24 and the executive producer from Hannibal for the Friday the 13th TV show.
Yeah, no, I was about to bring that up. I know there's been a bunch of legal issues and copyrights with the using the name Jason Voorhees, yada yada, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is how they're getting, I guess, in a way, while they're in between legal rights of the fucking character, they're like, fuck it, let's just do a prequel. And it's A24, so I can only imagine what the fuck they're gonna do.
And the guy who was on Hannibal. Yeah.
Huh?
So it's okay. So it's a TV show.
Yeah, on Peacock. It's gonna be exclusively on Peacock.
It's a prequel
written by the guy who did Hannibal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, great.
That's gonna be pretty goddamn good. Because I'll tell you what surprised the hell out of me was Hannibal.
Yeah, same.
Oh my God, the Human Garden. Oh my
dude.
God.
That show was so fucking good. So good.
Incredible. Mads Mikkelsen's just so cool.
Yeah. And the character who plays Will Graham is just I loved everything. I don't care what you say. That show is artsy and I love it. It is just how they portrayed Hannibal, everything.
And I'm excited to see that, like, bring that little artsy stuff into like a prequel of Friday the 13th. It could look, the series have gone there, it's gone here. it's gone everywhere.
Out of space.
Isn't Mads Mikkelsen like the human equivalent of like a latex
glove
just being put on and snapped?
Yes.
Like he's just got that vibe of just like, ooh, danger.
He really does. And I would love to see him. Like I love him as Hannibal. I love seeing him playing that cool, methodical killer / hunter. I would like to see him play that kind of, not so much to the T, but playing like just like a more brutal serial killer, like slasher movie or something like that. Because even his character in Death Stranding is really cool.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen brings, I think, a lot to his character. I think his facial expressions do a lot, and I want to see him in more horror things.
Yeah. I mean, he's a really he has all the features of being like a really good villain character.
Yeah.
Kind of like Willem Dafoe has a lot of like very like character-esque features about them that I mean every like dark villainous role that Mad has been in has just been top notch. If he's in something, like, I'm always on board.
Yeah. No, I agree. And has William Dafoe been in anything like horror related? I know he was in Antichrist. But I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't consider The Lighthouse to be a horror movie. It's more of a psychological mind fuck.
I mean, it
could have been a horror movie.
It's got horror elements in it. It's definitely got horror elements in it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, for like obvious horror movies, I don't think so.
I really don't. I mean, he was in American Psycho. but not as like a villain. He was just,
Wouldn't really.
secondary
I guess
character.
that's kind of a. I guess it's got. I guess you could put horror on there somewhere.
Yeah.
He was the Green Goblin.
He was the Green Goblin.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
I'm something of a scientist myself. God damn it, we're a bunch of fucking nerds.
Oh, man. No, I was about to sound the nerd alarm, but I didn't do it yet. I'm waiting.
Where are you? You're waiting.
It might happen. You wait and see.
Is there any more news, Patrick, or is that it?
That's it.
That's it, man. So there was one thing I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if we're gonna if this video gets posted on our YouTube channel, whatever. We're in the works of figuring that stuff out. A24, speaking of them, because of the Friday the 13th thing, they do zines, and if you're religiously following A24 like I do, I usually like to pick up a lot of things that they make. And recently they did a zine. It's issue 21, and it's titled "Never Coming to a Theater Near You." So this whole zine is a whole bunch of movies that were advertised back in the day. This is nothing like new, that never actually made it to the big screen. And there's one in particular that I really do want to happen, and I'm actually very sad because this particular,
if I haven't heard it, it's news to me.
Yeah, no, but like this particular character has been just desecrated in every rendition that has come out on the mass multimedia, minus the 1940s, 30s when it was released by Universal. And I'm talking about Frankenstein.
You didn't like I, Frankenstein?
No, you shut the fuck up. So
you didn't like Van Helsing?
I mean, I'll give Van Helsing.
Hold on now. Whoa.
Yeah, Van Helsing was fun. I'm not going to trash on Van Helsing, but I'm talking about, for the most part, we know there was only a couple good renditions. That was Penny Dreadful, that did a fantastic job of portraying Frankenstein and the monster.
Oh yeah.
Speak the truth. Really speak the truth.
We could have had, gentlemen, David Cronenberg Frankenstein. I don't know if you guys
Cronenberg, baby.
But could you fucking imagine Cronenberg doing a Frankenstein movie and how fucked up that would have been?
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen it.
You see?
Yeah, you wouldn't have, and you're the reason why it was never fucking made, Dylan.
They're like, yeah.
Good, I'm glad.
But no, I thought it was like, I was reading through it, and
the pussy... the pussy veiny,
and it talks about how like this was supposed to be down in the 80s. So we're talking prime practical effects, gross fucking movies. This would have been. I want him to do it so bad, or his son. Please just pick up the mantle and give us a badass Frankenstein movie that we've never gotten before. That's gross, because it needs to be. I mean, we're talking about a scientist who's grave digging and sewing different bodies together. Like, it needs to be gross. It needs to be grimy. And I think Cronenberg, any of the Cronenbergs would do a fantastic job doing this.
Dylan's about to throw up.
It doesn't need to be gross. It just needs to be spooky and ghoulish.
Sacks.
It needs to just be spooky and fun.
No
Until
blood.
he kills the little girl, then it's not fun. It's sad.
All right. Well, mine is Dylan's opinion.
No, all jokes aside, it would be cool.
Okay.
It would have been very cool. Like you said, yeah, it's several pieces of like corpses of varying degrees of rot set in, and it's like, I'm sure an ankle bone snapped once or twice when he was getting up walking around and stuff. So it's like you could really make Frankenstein just like the poster child for yuck.
Exactly.
Well, and the fact that it's like, body horror.
Yes.
Cronenberg, the body horror god.
Literally, the god of body horror. Like, he gave us Crimes of the Future, and it was just nasty. Like, it was so much fun.
I liked it.
I loved it. It was fucking good.
Fun.
It was so good.
I took me and Savannah went to go see it. She's like, "What the fuck is this?"
I went by myself, but
I wanted to.
Yeah,
she's
pervert,
like,
go see it alone in the dark, like you should.
No,
watching shit like that.
She's like, "I'm your movie buddy. I gotta go." I'm like, "All right."
I don't know what you're signing up for, but you're gonna have a horrible time.
She hasn't gone to the movies with me since Terrifier 2. So,
oh my god.
She's like,
Well-
you know what? You go by yourself.
These
Yeah, good
obscure
for her.
horror movies
Good for
that you
her.
watch are disgusting, and quite frankly, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Oh man! But I wanted to show you guys that. I thought it'd be fun to like maybe introduce a new segment, where like a show and tell type thing, where we can show cool things that we're adding to our collections. Where we can probably have our listeners submit videos, like quick little 15-second, 30-second clips of like showing us their horror collection. Just because I know like some people out there are some hardcore dedicated collectors, and I know people got some cool shit, and it would be just really cool. I think it would be to not only showcase our stuff, but like the people out there, like our listeners, and what they got going in their spooky cabinets and stuff.
Could you?
I can't wait to share what I have next week for that segment.
Oh God.
Can you imagine if we got the Cronenberg Frankenstein and the John Carpenter Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Oh, please,
Oh,
yes.
God,
And then
we-
combine them all and
What else?
combine
what
them all
else
in one
could have
universe.
happened? What else could have happened?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wes Craven's Wolf Man. I mean, I guess we already got that with Cursed, right?
Yeah, with Cursed, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
just
Cursed, Howling.
yeah, Silver
You
Bullet.
know.
Oh, that's right. He did. Yeah. All
We
right.
kinda,
Well,
like the thing is,
he
like,
already did it.
werewolf movies, man. We've gotten a lot of good werewolf movies in
the
in our
that
time.
recent one.
The Wolfman that was like 2010. I want to say was
The Benicio del Toro one.
so
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah,
Highly
when he hops
underrated
in the
film.
bus.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And I think everyone just like focuses on like American Werewolf in London in like or Underworld for the most part, and it's like
Which
they're
are great
also good,
movies.
like, dude, Silver
Yeah.
Bullet is such a good ass movie. It's so good.
Silver Bullet is incredible, and the Silver Bullet's actually one of the first movies my mother showed to me as a child.
As
Right.
it should be.
And man, yeah, I've always that movie used to come on TNT on the weekends, and I would just be like,
Yes.
sit in the house and
Score.
watch Silver Bullet all day. Like
Is that still a channel?
TNT?
TNT, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like ACDC plays. the
I
fucking
haven't
logo.
had
That's where I watch the
cable.
basketball.
I haven't had cable in 13 years, so sorry.
I use it on Hulu. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Old Patrick, old elevated Patrick, too good.
Nah,
for
not at all.
Too good for TNT, huh?
No, I miss it.
Remember
If it wasn't so
where
goddamn expensive, I would have cable.
Yeah.
Remember WCW Nitro? Well, TNT was there for you then. And you so
Hey,
quick
did
to
they?
abandon it.
Is the frog still the symbol for CW
You mean
or the WB?
You mean WB?
Yeah.
On the WB.
Yeah.
God damn
Hello,
it.
my darling. Hello, my honey.
Jesus.
It's like,
But yeah,
y'all want to watch some Sister? Here's a frog.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so that keep out if you're following us on social media, keeping your eyes out for some posts. We'll probably ask you guys to shoot us some videos, and we'll upload them. We'll share your shit. That's cool. I guess anything else you guys want to hop into the feature film of today's podcast?
Let's get it on.
Alrighty then. This is a movie that I think I've been wanting to talk about because I think it does an effective job of overall with storytelling, setting up certain themes and execution.
Certainly the sequel didn't do that.
No, the sequel unfortunately did not do a good job, and we're not talking about the sequel. We're only talking about the first movie because in my eyes, it is the only one that exists. Of course, the movie we're talking about is Sinister. It was directed by Scott Derrickson and was released in 2012. And the main character, who we don't really see getting into horror movies too often, Ethan Hawke, playing Ellison Oswald, who is this true crime writer. And what he does is, he moves his family into the home where a recently family was murdered, and hopes to find some inspiration to write his next book because he's kind of been on a shit writing spree after his first book, Kentucky Blood, does tremendously well, and then his next two don't do well. But as they spend this time in their house, a lot of supernatural shit goes down. And we're going to talk about that. So I opened the discussion to, I think Dylon is going to explode because he has 13,000 pages of notes. So I want you to jump in, Dylan. Go ahead. that
Well-
we're talking from the beginning of the film. We're going to keep it going from the flow. So we'll start from the beginning, work our way to the middle, work our way to the end.
Well,
But,
there's some
you know,
context I want to add here.
Go ahead.
I got little outside of the movie details that I would love to collect, just to kind of give people, what we're doing here, because
go ahead.
it's a Blumhouse movie.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of at that start up Blumhouse golden era of like Insidious and then Conjuring and then Sinister. It's like back to back to back, like, oh shit, horror's kind of back type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, when The Conjuring came out and that text wall came up with the spooky music and then that big yellow font hits you, you're like, damn, dude, like cues of like The Omen and like shit like that, of just like super spooky, ominous, intense openings and stuff. Like, there is none more intense than the start of this movie, but I'll get to that in a minute. Like you said, Scott Derrickson directed it. He also wrote it.
Yep.
With a C. Robert Cargill. He did Hellraiser Inferno in like 2000. He did The Exorcism of Emily Rose in 2005.
Which is a good one. It's good fun.
Then he did the Day the Earth Stood Still, the Keanu Reeves movie. Okay. And then he did Sinister in 2012. And after that, just a quick mention, he did Deliver Us, which is a horror movie. He did
really good one, actually.
Yeah, he did the first Doctor Strange, and then he did Black Phone with Ethan Hawke. It's a Blumhouse movie. So they're boys. Love to see that.
I do. I love to see when our actors and directors continue to like work with each other throughout the years. I think that's awesome.
Correct. Yeah, and I always love to see the financials of it, the budget, which I think, because it's interesting. I think horror is the only kind of genre that could really do something like this. The budget was $3 million. Not a lot, even by 2012 standards.
No, not at all.
But opening weekend did 18 mil, domestically did 48 mil, and worldwide did 82 million. So quite, even with advertising, like they easily, no wonder a second one was rushed out.
And I'm really trying to think of the overall marketing campaign from that era for this movie. It did a couple
of festivals. It did a couple of festivals. It did South by Southwest March of that year, because it came out October 12th. And they did South by on March 11th. Then they did Fantastic Fest in Austin in September. So like a little under a month before it was set to major release.
No, and also too, like after Insidious, when they brought that big boom of spooky ghost or supernatural horror movies came back.
Yeah.
Anything that had Blumhouse in front of it and it was a spooky ghost supernatural movie, it was gonna make money.
Yeah,
because definitely good. Conjuring and Insidious like boom that back up.
Right,
definitely 100%.
Here's what I want to point out too, and I think the beginning of this movie, I think when I say this, for those who have seen this movie in the very beginning, obviously it's like, well, no wonder this movie was rated R, because it's interesting to me that the movie is rated R only for disturbing, violent images and some terror.
Some
terror.
Only some.
But it's interesting. There is no sex. There are no tits. There is no gore. There's plenty of times where there's about to be gore, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
And there's like maybe one F-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So the videos, an R rating has to come from something. And when it says disturbing violent images, that's pretty much where the whole R rating comes from.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something that I truly love about this movie.
Yes.
Truly.
The things that are on those tapes are so fucked up. This isn't an R-rated movie. And the movie starts with the grainy video image with some of the coolest music.
Mm-hmm.
One of the coolest scores, I was talking to Patrick about this, one of the coolest scores of a movie that, especially a horror movie, that I have heard in a while. I would throw it up there with like the creativity level of maybe not something like, it's not the same tier as The Shining, but it's like below it.
So
like
it's A
one
tier,
tier
not
below
S
it.
tier. Yeah,
It's A tier, but it's not S tier. I mean,
correct.
it's so good.
Yeah, no,
Especially if you're a fan of like Trent Reznor and like people like that.
Oh no, yeah,
mixing-
the music, the soundtrack, it reminds me of like late 90s like Thriller, like Seven, like type of soundtrack.
mixed with a lot of ambient noise
Yes.
as well. So it gives you this sense of unease, whether the ambient noise is a part of the music or if it's a sound off like in your own reality. It
Mhm.
really does like to play tricks on you type stuff, and it just adds to a sinister vibe.
Hey,
But he did the dark half, and he did Nightmare on Elm Street 2. He did The
Oh.
Grudge, and he did Emily Rose as well. So there's another connection. But I couldn't not mention that he also did Spider-Man 3
yes,
and Ghost Rider.
yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, could not mention that.
No, you have to.
The sweatiest and the hairiest.
Yes, but also throwing it out there, the last thing he did the score for, which he needs props for, is he did the score for Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yep.
Oh, the Del Toro show.
Yes,
Which was
Very-
fantastic.
and the music.
How
is
long did
very
it take?
Fitting. The music's very fitting. But yes, the movie starts with 4 people in a family. And they have bags over their heads, and they have a noose around their neck, and there is a floating tree saw, cuts a limb, and they ascend into the air, and they're all hung from the tree with nothing but this weirdo fucking freak music. And it really sets just like I don't feel so good in my stomach type.
Yeah.
Like
And
you feel pretty violated watching that. Like it's like no trigger warning. It's just they're here. Oh, they're hanging from a millisecond in to 4 innocent people hanging with bags over their heads. Very visceral opening. Very.
And I think that the overall purpose, was like, here's a movie that's called Sinister, right? And Sinister is not like an easy word to use to describe things. Like it's a bad word. Like it's used to describe horrific things. And I remember going to the theater and watching this movie and seeing that for the first time and being like, wow. Because I'm trying to think, and I'm sure there are a lot of movies that maybe I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But when you think of an opener for a movie, and it's just this, you hear the click of the camera and the projector wheels is clicking, and then all of a sudden you get this weird fadey video, and it's this family being hung. It does a fantastic job of setting the viewer up for something that's going to make them feel like they're watching something sinister, that maybe they're watching something they shouldn't be watching. And I think one of the things I really love about this, and Patrick, I'll let you talk after this, is I really love how Sinister uses both the overall concept of a movie production while blending in found footage elements. And I think that is just something that this movie does so well, and why to this day it stands the test of time. It's still such a great movie.
And I think that's what adds on to like the sinister horrorness of that, the found footage element, especially because it's like, damn, this kind of feels real.
Yeah,
it hits on that like people watching Blair Witch for the first time.
exactly.
Feel. And we got that in not just it at the time where it was just found footage after found footage, and this one did it so much better than any of those fucking movies.
Yeah.
And it's not a found footage movie.
It's not. And that's what's so great about it. It has these elements in it.
And it reminds me of The Ring, It has that that videotape that's like curse type of shit. And it's like, yo. Especially and when we get later on to the review, when we talk about the specifics of those videos. But the first again, when your movie's an opener is such as strong as this, and it you're like, okay, I get why this movie's called Sinister. And also too, it's like a perfect fucking name for a horror movie.
Yeah,
agreed. And it's again two elements you need for your horror movie: good title, good intro.
Yep,
this movie got it.
Yeah. You really gotta like.
It's like a band name.
You really ask yourself when you're watching, how much worse can it get? And it does get pretty bad.
It does.
It gets pretty fucking
So like, yeah, so we have this opening scene, right? It sets the film. It really gets you in to what you're about to experience, and then we cue in to a moving truck where Ethan Hawke or Ellison Oswalt and his family are moving into a house, and it's not shortly after that we see a sheriff car roll up, and we see two young deputies. One of them holding a book called Kentucky Blood. An older sheriff gets out of his car and he's like, "Are you serious? You're going to ask for his autograph?" So we can already tell that there's some sort of bad blood between this one of these characters and law enforcement. And so we had this whole conversation where the sheriff's like, "You know what? If there's anything I can do to just transfer your, change your mind for you guys to pack up and leave, I would love that." And we have this. Go ahead.
It's great of showing, not telling too much of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Again, this movie doesn't need to like over explain itself. It's kind of like if you're going into this movie knowing what you're getting yourself into, and it's like, okay, I can easily buy what the hell is going on right now.
Exactly. And then, they had this conversation and like, if you've never seen this movie, first off, we're really bad at doing this, but pause, watch Sinister and come back, because we are a very spoiler heavy podcast and we do a horrible job at not saying, "Hey, spoilers, warning." So yes, pause, watch movie, come back now. But when the sheriff says this is all in bad taste, first time viewing, you're like, what does he mean? Like, why does he mean this is all bad taste? Like, he's a true crime writer. Like, I understand, he's trying to look at, evidence and from a different perspective and see what people have done wrong. And that's the whole idea from Kentucky Blood. He revisited a crime scene or a crime and found out that people that were involved in this investigation did a really bad job. And his investigation is what led to an arrest for a horrific murder.
He is very much a Michelle McNamara type, where it's like not somebody within the system, does their own research and cooperates with other people and solves that case. And this whole scene that you're talking about pretty much sets up motive for everything. Like you said, the deputy who's played by James Ranson, who, if you don't know, he was older Eddie in Chapter 2. He was like the main character in the Sinister sequel. Bad idea. He was Chester in The Wire for the homies who have seen The Wire. He was also in the Prom Night remake, and he was in the Old Boy remake. Speaking of which, did you guys see that they are re-releasing a remastered version of Old Boy in theaters?
I am going to go see that.
Like the original Old Boy?
No, I didn't see that.
Remastered. And
that's sick.
Yeah.
Can you now we get to see that hallway scene?
Yeah.
Remastered? Let's go.
Look really good. Fred Thompson plays the antagonistic sheriff of that scene. He was in the Cape Fear remake that I really love. He was in a lot of Law and Order.
Law and Order.
Die Hard 2, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much he doesn't care for Ellison because he thinks he gives cops a bad look, but Ellison argues that cops could do a better job.
Yeah.
Or give more of a shit. But then he counters with your book, what was it? Cold Denver Morning.
Yeah.
Got it all wrong.
Yep.
And then because he got it wrong, it's like he had huge success and was on a rise, and then completely failed the next time around and pretty much fucked everything up to where the killer of that case went free and killed more people. So he's really got to get another success. And that's what's going to drive him to a point that I guess we'll get on later into the show. It's how far you'll go to succeed, and what are your true motives for why you wish to succeed, and what you'll put people you supposedly love through to get to that point.
Fame. Yeah.
Yes.
And there's a really cool thing with what you're talking about, these all of these things that motives that are going to play into the overall film. There's a certain scene in the movie that we're going to bring up, that you're going to see how this character has changed because of fame and money and all this kind of stuff.
and then you find out like the whole like I don't know if it's obvious. Maybe if you're seeing it for the first time, maybe it won't be. Hopefully you're not still listening if you haven't seen this movie yet. But I guess they find out in that scene, as the scene transitions, you find out that that's the house.
From the opening scene.
From the opening scene, because it cuts to a shot of the tree missing the limb that was cut. And man,
and it's literally in the backyard.
Like, oh shit. Yeah, it's like right in the backyard.
Now, let me ask, would you guys prefer to find that out with the wife when it happens or have it known at the beginning of the movie?
What do you mean?
Have us know that he's moving into the house that the videotape.
Ask for forgiveness or beg for permission?
I think he means like, so would you have rather, as a viewer, find out that the house that they're in is the house from the opening scene at the same time the wife does in the movie? Or do you like it how they did it where you as the viewer know more information than some of the people? But then
I don't know how you would explain the box of films.
Exactly.
If you
true.
did it the other way. Maybe you could. I mean, you'd have to write a whole other movie, maybe, or like the same movie but in different context. But
yeah, that's true.
No, I think sharing the weight of this massive secret with Ethan Hawke is really important.
Mm-hmm. So back Alfred Hitchcock, he invented the bomb under the table method for suspense in his movies. Mm-hmm. When you let the audience know that there's a bomb under the table. That allows to build suspense, and also too, if you don't let your audience know that there's a bomb under the table and it goes off, builds another suspense. And that's why I asked that question.
And the fact that Ethan Hawke went that route and didn't tell her, plays into what comes revealed to be the true motive as to why he really wants to write the book and solve the case.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
what a piece of shit.
Yeah. We have this scene, right? You know, where we enter the sheriff. They have a conversation. We go back to the house. I love the fact that in this entire movie, Ethan Hawke does not change. That motherfucker wears that cardigan like no tomorrow. Like, but I get it. But it's
classic cozy.
It's delicate.
Author.
It is. Authors have a thing that they do, or if they wear a certain thing, or they have a certain like the wife even says later in the movie, like, oh, we got to make the coffee just right for your dad who's writing, because they have these little things that they think make their writing better, like the things. So like wearing the cardigan that always makes sense, having the perfect cup of coffee every day to make sure that you're on nothing's out of beat. But we also get introduced to his children. So
please change your underwear. Your book's not going to be better if you just change your fucking pants.
Your underwear has holes in it, sir. We need you.
This is how I write.
Respect my writing process.
Some people do that shit for like sporting events and shit like
that's true.
Like the most like superstitious things. So
yeah.
I mean, if it solves a missing murder case and he gets another best-selling book, I mean, hey. Wear it as long as you got to, champ.
So no,
get us out of this fucking house.
Two things. One, I feel like maybe the cardigan is what he wore when he was investigating Kentucky Blood and wrote that book, and that's why maybe there's some sentimental value there. Two, we didn't talk about the fact that the family that was hung, there was 4, but there's actually 5 people in the family, and the little girl is supposedly missing.
Yeah.
To Ethan's character, but to the sheriff's department, she's dead. So that's another part of this, why he wants to write this book, because 1, he's intrigued by how this murder happened, but 2, he wants to find this missing girl. That's a very big motive for him. He wants to. I think for him, if he is able to solve this and find her, that catapults him back onto the spotlight of Hollywood and fame.
But why move to the house?
I mean, that's a question.
Is it because it's cheap? Is it because it's cheaper? Because he did say he was paying 2 mortgages, right?
Which is another driving factor of why he needs to succeed. Otherwise, he's going to put his fucking family not just in a murder house, but a poor house. A poor murder house. That's where he's going to put his family. He's willing to risk it just to get himself, just to get himself back. But then again, there's a scene later that really he can't hold on to a facade any longer.
No. We get introduced to his wife and his 2 kids. So he has a older boy who has night terrors. We find that out horrifyingly. In this movie. And he has a little girl who paints. And I love the fact that there's the conversation with the family at the dinner table. What's the number 1 rule for the kids? Don't go into dad's office. And then she looks at him and goes, and what's your 1 rule? To lock dad's office, because he is in these rooms with, crime scene photos and murder scene, like all this stuff that's just like, for an average person, not a fun time to be looking at.
We should also note that before that is the scene where he goes into the attic and finds the box of tapes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because
and he has footage of the empty house, and it didn't have a box in that attic.
Correct.
And it's funny. The titles on the movie reels.
Oh my god! Hands down, some of the best shit.
Family hanging
out, barbecue,
79,
pool
party,
sleepy
time.
Bagul's a funny guy.
He's got a sense of humor.
So there's little things too in the movie. So like he goes to the attic to put a box away, and he sees a black scorpion, and he smashes it. He drops the box and smashes it. That's when he finds the box of tapes and the projector. And that's when we get introduced to all these funny little names.
Was it the scorpion or the snake?
It was a scorpion. Scorpion first, snake second.
Okay.
But again, like all these things, like they're playing on so many, like one, like we think of now in the world of podcasting and media, like true crime podcasts are everywhere, right? People investigating missing person cases or investigating cold cases, and they're making content. But like, here's a movie that's before that, I mean, I can't think back to 2012. I mean, podcasting wasn't really a huge thing back then, right?
What, 2012?
2012?
Not really.
No, not really.
No. Not like it is now.
So, but again, like it's a talent to tell like these things, like, there's always been these writers who are solving true crime and writing books about it and investigating. Right. So I literally love that. I do really love that part of the film.
Yeah, they made that movie now. He would just be a podcaster.
Yeah.
But it'd also be effective, honestly. I think that would be a fun play. Watching the
all right, guys, I got the tapes. If you sign on to my Patreon, you can watch them with me.
You get early access to my exclusive footage of this missing child and her.
If you sign up for my OnlyFans,
nothing like commoditizing trauma.
Exactly. But yeah, I think like, so
come on.
I think what's really wild is we have a man who deals with gruesome scenes, right? He is familiar with crime scenes, but he starts watching these tapes and seeing these atrocities taking place, and they affect him severely.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where I'm pretty sure he was already a drinker, but my God, my dude was kicking back whiskey like no tomorrow.
Yeah,
I mean, wouldn't you?
Dinner was over, and he said, "All right, your dad's going into the office to look at fucked up shit and drink himself into a coma. No one come in here.
No one come into my office."
And then old Ethan Hawke himself goes in. He goes into the child murder room because he has the fucking pin board up. And he just starts putting up fucked up picture after fucked up picture after fucked up picture. And then he's just looking at his wall and he goes,
"How do they
better
connect?
watch the tapes."
He's that scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. And then from there, he just realizes I think he starts to realize at that point that he's might be, even for him, over his head.
Oh yeah.
Like he's got to have another drink. And I am going to say this: usually every horror movie's got one, but in this movie, the projector is Ethan Hawke's version of his Necronomicon.
Oh, yes. You know what? It is. Holy shit, Dylan!
It is the object of. It is the object of which is the source of all sadness and dismay. It is like all of that stems from that, and it's even seen later on in the movie, you kind of go, oh shit, this shit's like, it's like the Necronomicon. It's indestructible. It goes about. It's connected to a evil entity, and once you start the film, it's done.
Yeah.
Like there's no going back. And he rewatches the first film. And it's the whole film. It's them playing in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how all of the cameras are like, it's all like in the bushes.
Yep.
Or
it's
like in the distance,
weird,
like
creepy guy filming you from
makes you feel creepy, like you're watching.
Yeah.
And it puts you through, it's like through the eyes of a person who's not themselves, obviously, as we'll come to find. But it all cuts to like, it's a hard cut too.
Yeah.
Music switches with it, and it's just, and it shows them hanging from the tree, and he's just like, he had to pour himself another scotch.
He's like, God damn it, I need another one.
Yeah, there's not enough scotch in that bottle to reverse the shit he just saw. Seen. And then he goes, glug glug. Next film. So then
speaking of another one.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, the family's fishing. It's great. And
this
then,
this is my favorite film. This one.
And then it cuts to a really to really fucked up sounds and a garage with a car inside, and it's wrapped in chains, and the family is inside, and their mouths are taped, and wrists are bound, and the car is then set on fire, and the family just wakes up to be like, oh, what's happening? And then it's just hell in a cell. It's just
crispy,
it's just,
extra fried chicken.
Yeah, that is they are crispy as all hell. And it's like, holy God, it's almost that's just as like visceral and bad as the last one. But as you saw in the box, there's more than 2 tapes. There's more than 2 reels.
There's a whole bunch, and they're all dated.
A whole bunch.
They're all dated like almost decades apart from each other. Like one's in the 50s, one's in the 60s, 70s, 80s, etc., etc.
Which plays a part on the pattern.
Yeah.
On the family.
And
we discover later on. I
love that he like he has a conscience for half a second. And he's like, I can't do this. This is above my pay grade.
By the third tape, he's like, you know what?
I need to call the authorities, and I need to tell them what I found. And then as he's starting to dial, he sees that stinker of a fucking book he wrote. And he goes, oh, well,
I can solve this.
If I do the right thing, I'll never live down the shitty book I wrote. My wishes and dreams are more important than actually getting this thing in the hands of proper people.
Yeah.
So he just goes back and fucking. Oh, and that's the part where
the film burns.
He hangs up, but then he walks and finds his son. He hears the noises. And by the way, if you do not have an OLED television and you love horror movies,
I think Dylan died.
Make the investment.
Oh man!
But no,
the investment.
Yeah.
Because I watched it. This is the first time I watch a lot of movies for the first time on my OLED television, and the black levels on that TV and like all of like you miss so much good lighting, and the lighting in this movie was so good. Like it was like a dark house that you're like when you're walking around your house at night, it had that similar feeling to it. Very good lighting. And it just made the scene when he gets to the box and his son comes out of the box. It just makes it that much more effective.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his son Jack in the Box.
Yeah, no joke.
But I mean, I think what I like is that he's making all these decisions, and you're like, why? Like like you get it, like like you've made the statements that. We have to sell the other house. Daddy's paying 2 mortgages, but like he states like, oh, I just don't want to write college textbooks and teach and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and
boo-hoo.
Exactly. But it's like you're acting like they're like. First off, you're acting like you can't write on the side. Like you can't have this steady job of like, reviewing college textbooks and then be able to write on the side. Yes, it may be hard for true crime.
Man, if I watch that video and then try to teach a class the next day, though,
but
I'll be too hungover. I mean, yeah.
Too hungover.
We're watching a movie.
Watching a movie.
And then it's just like, hey, teach. What? Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Sorry, wrong film.
I thought you were all hanging from a tree. Oh God.
But the thing is, like, this movie doesn't have a lot of jump scares, right? So like we have these no, hold on now. But I'm talking about these tapes. Like within the tapes themselves, there's really no jump scares. It's like
no need.
There's always like this, like you said, scenes shot from afar from some creep holding a camera, filming the family, and then it turns almost immediately to their demise, whether it is being burned alive and chained up, they're getting their throats slit out during sleepy time, whether they're getting drug into the pool during the pool party scene. And I want to note here that the pool scene, the director filmed all of these things really. Like these are all real things that they filmed on Super 8 film.
One of the
actors killed people for real.
But no, literally, they did tie all the actors to the lawn chairs, and they weighted down the actor who plays the deity that we'll talk about a bit soon to the pool. So like when you're watching these people,
because it's the same
that the people are actually weighted down, and that they actually could have they were like waiting for something to go wrong.
I'll be like, I'm waiting for this so I can get this lawsuit going. Let's go.
Right?
How much did y'all make? 83 million worldwide.
Word.
Yeah.
I can't look at water anymore.
But
someone runs the hose. I'm like, whoa.
Patrick, I'm interested to get an idea like what you think of we're both really big found footage buffs. We love found footage movies.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I hate found footage. No, I'm just kidding.
But like the use of this, the camera and the using the like it, and also going from found footage like hard material to where he copies it digitally to his computer.
Yeah,
has it that way.
And like now, because going back into watching this movie and the times that we are in with horror movies and what the next big thing is with analog horror, and I'm like, this is so ahead of its time. The element of found footage to make it so embedded to reality too, and again, also too, it being rated R and them not fully capitalizing on like showing a lot of gore.
Yeah.
It's a cool element to like, again, it's an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
You could go as gory as you want, but what adds on to the scariness and the horrorness of this Sinister film is like the reaction of someone watching it.
Yeah.
Let alone letting us use our imagination to like, we know how horrifying that would look like.
Yeah.
Especially with the next tape that we're going to talk about. That one's my favorite.
What, pool party?
No, the lawn.
Oh my fucking god!
That one's my favorite too.
That's the one that has the jump scare in it. Like that's the only one that really has of the films, I should say, of the films within that he's watching that has an effective use of a jump scare. The fucking lawnmower.
It's the element of like, okay, so we're gonna cut right before we show what is scary and show the reaction of someone that's watching it.
Yeah.
A lot of like Juti into the manga writer, he uses that suspense technique a lot with comic books, with manga. He'll show the reaction of someone like that sees the horrifying thing first and then show you the image.
Yeah.
Here it's letting you use your imagination more than a comic book, of course, but like it's
good.
And
it is really good.
Some things require fountains of blood. I get that.
It does. I agree.
Some things require fountains of blood. But for me, if you can make an R-rated movie and show no gore and no sex and and barely curse, then that means to me you've done it correctly. I think
exactly.
I love a good nuance. I love a good, hey, leave it up to the ever expanding imagination of the individual watching the movie, because because a lot of things are left to interpretation. And I mean, God, could you imagine like a director's cut, like a not rated director's cut, where like you get like they don't turn the camera away during me and Pat's favorite video, like
you just get to see it.
But
Yeah.
but the pool scene's important.
The pool scene is very important.
Because
no, and again, it's because it's found footage, and it's like it has that, you know, that I'm there, like
yeah.
And the element of using elements as a fear too. There's fire, there's water, there's a tree, so earth.
Yeah, earth, wind, and fire.
There's a tree.
Yeah.
But no, the pool scene. So what's cool is like at this point in the movie, you know, there's some things happening in the house. Like he is driving himself up the wall. Like his hysteria, his paranoia, the drinking, like he is losing it because he's watching these films over and over. Like that's something that's very important. He has not just watched this film once or each one once and stumbles upon what we're about to bring up. He's watched these things hundreds of times and it's fucked him up. I mean, the scene where he goes outside and with the baseball bat, because his son, who has night terrors, also sleepwalks too. Yeah. So that's an element. So second time this happens because they're getting worse by being in this house.
You should lock this kid up.
I agree. They go outside. He has his baseball bat. He goes outside and his son's in the woods and he's fucking cold and he's wet and they bring him inside. But he goes back out to get his bat.
all creepy like.
Yeah, all like one of them dang old aliens.
Yeah.
He goes back for his bat and there's a dog out there barking at him. And there's a really cool effective scene where you're seeing this dog and you're looking at Ethan from behind and there's nothing there. But then they do a quick transition to go back and then you see the 4 people that were hung from the tree. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? It's just like, because at this point, like he's seen the deity because he has to see it before all these weird paranormal things happen. Correct?
Yeah.
But it's just I think that it sets up things that are super weird that are going on that are like bring this more to the paranormal realm of things versus like the found footage. Like now we're getting to like things happening in the house.
It's like a supernatural true crime found footage movie.
Exactly. You couldn't describe it any better than that, Dylan.
Yeah, it's very much what it is. And I wanted to. I know you're continuing your point, but before I forget it, because the point you're making about how each movie is slowly driving him down the highway of madness.
Yes,
that he is planning on riding all night long.
Yes.
It allows him to see Bagul for the first time with his own eyes under the pool, but he doesn't fully. I don't know if he cares because of all the horrible things he's seen, or if he's just thinking he's seeing something not what it is. Because I guess it's under the water. I guess it could be whatever you want it to be.
He actually thinks.
It allows him to not pay so much attention to that, which is like so wild that the footage is so traumatizing that seeing something like that is like, oh, I'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah, he's like, when do we put on this Slipknot music video on?
Right, dude. Yeah, I got a lot of opinions about this guy.
So when he sees Bagul and yeah, he notices it and he goes, "Who is this?" And he prints it out, puts it on his thing. But he does something that's smart, and I really do like his character, even though he pisses me off and he is annoying because of the things that he does. Really, just drive you up the wall. He goes back and he rewatches everything. And he starts looking for things. He's now at this point, he's scanning these films. And it reminds me of myself from this time era, 2012, 2013, watching the Marble Hornets on the YouTube channel for the Slender Man shit. And then like just being pulled into that whole realm of Slender Man and like
Mike had a whole conspiracy wall about how Slender Man was real.
I was in Slender Man.
I wasn't a part of all that.
But
okay, so I was like that with the Russian experiments because that felt so fucking real.
But
I was like, yo.
My point is that like you watch these once or twice. And you're like, these are fun. You show them to other people, and you're like, this is fun. But then you start scanning things to see things you haven't noticed, and that's what he does. And it's cool because you as a viewer can relate. Like, I'm going to start scanning things, and we do this so I would do this podcast. We watch things once, 2, 3, 4 times, and we start hyper scanning things for different details that people may not pick up. But like, he goes to family hanging out. He notices that the ghoul is now in the background of the photo. He goes to barbecue time, and he sees him in the
barbecue time.
the garage window or mirror in the garage. Like he starts noticing these symbols. And I think, Dylan, you have a really cool audio bit that you had queued up that you wanted to play. I don't know if you still have it ready.
I didn't know we were going that far ahead. We haven't even talked about we didn't even talk about Sleepy Time.
Oh, well, we'll talk about Sleepy Time, and then we will bring in this audio bit that I think is really cool. It's a part of this movie that I think we all really like that they brought this character in. But yeah, once you see Bagul, he starts seeing him in everything else. But go ahead and talk about Sleepy Time, Dylan. It's a great segue.
Sleepy Time.
Sleepy Time.
Yeah. Well, Sleepy Time is the 4th film that they have.
Sleepy Time.
Because he pretty much moves the projector. That's when he moves the projector into his office and gets like really fucking serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he watches the 4th film. Where is that? Yeah. So basically, the 4th film is just it's a little bit different because it starts out walking through the house in the dark, like straight up. There's no like happy children playing and like everyone's in the pool. No, it just starts off like very negative, very bad. And it moves to these people, and they're bound and gagged, and he's just slitting their throats. It's very nuanced. It just shows the slicing and
slice and dice.
And it shows
Sleepy Time.
They're showing it off the reflection of Ellison's glasses.
Yeah.
And just watching the cameraman walk the room and just killing everyone just so nonchalantly, and it just gets fucking worse. And then he finds the symbol on the wall, and he prints a copy of it out.
Sleepy Time.
I would not let what is my note here? I would not let the family just sleep. Oh yeah, I'd be waking them all up, being like, "Come on, we're going to the attic." Like, we are going to the attic, not me. We like. I want all 3 of you to like. I want one of you to come up with me because I can't be the only one seeing this shit. I was like, "There's no way I'd be doing all this by myself." But I guess if he's like, no reason, guys. It's just kind of spooky up there. Everybody wake up.
Everyone wake up.
Yeah.
Everybody wake up. Yeah. But then he found a box in the attic that was moving, and that's when the snake came out. The snake, because he comes up back in the attic, and there's a snake
chilling
under this box in the attic. To which I even kind of saw what was coming later. But then that's where he finds it leads to a box with all the drawings of like people from like
the movies.
It's like kids' drawings of everything in the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
with the addition of a boogeyman, Mr. Boogeyman.
Of Mr. Boogie.
Yeah, Mr. Boogie.
Is Mr. Boogie.
And I like this scene when he's going up into the attic because he thinks he hears someone walking. And what does he do but start to make his own found footage video? He pulls out his phone and starts recording with the light. I don't understand why he has no other light source than that fucking iPhone 4 flashlight that's giving nothing out.
It's 2012.
But
we didn't have lights.
We didn't have lights.
Sleepy Time.
But what happens when he starts filming his video? He finds the thing that Dylan's talking about, all the and he falls through the goddamn attic door or attic roof.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he calls the police over to report all the crazy shit he's seeing.
Yep.
And I love it that Deputy so-and-so just remains Deputy so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need to know.
When I was on IMDb, he was just called Deputy. I was like, "Wait, you didn't have a last name?" I was like, "No, he was just Deputy so."
No, you got to look at this. You got to look at the sequel to get his real name.
Oh,
but it's cool that you think that he's just like a dope, like most like sheriff deputies are in horror movies.
Like
Turns
Dewey.
out he's like a amateur, like, he has a degree in criminology and like is like has read all of Ellison's books and has a more of an
I'm a super fan
than your average cop about certain kind of things. And so
notice me.
he goes back and finds Bagul and all the other films. That all the and he finds out all the families are connected, and Bagul. That's when he turns away. That's when you see the image of Bagul move in the image, and you're like, "Oh shit, he can do that!
The fuck, he can move!"
Yeah, like in images too.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so.
He's like, "Hey, deputy, you want to see something fucking cool?
Yeah, and that's
Lock
when
the door."
That's when he wakes up and has that super trippy scene where he hears the projector on.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
It's playing the video of the hanging family, and then Bagul.
Bagul. We don't know it's Bagul. We don't know it's
Not
Bagul
yet. Well, we don't know his name.
Yeah.
Well,
we just know there's a dude.
That is we're in spoilers. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just saying.
No,
know what we're talking about.
Every time he pops up, it's just Bagul.
He's in the bushes, and he went outside. This was like he was in the bushes in real life, not in the images. And then he went outside, and that's when he found his son hunched in the bushes, hiding. And so you're starting to get a like, oh, maybe this thing and the son are connected because of his night terrors and his all of that. And that's when he goes outside, and that is the scene you were mentioning earlier with the growling dog. And I wanted to harp on that scene particularly.
Yes.
One, because the lighting is so fucking good. The lighting is so good. It's a very Stephen King lighting. Because it has very Stephen King stuff in it. A cornfield, or not a cornfield, but like big shrubbery green bush stuff. And a dog, an evil dog, and ghost kids. Because that's when the ghost kids appear behind Ethan Hawke's character and his son, and the dog is growling. But it's like, where did that dog come from?
Can't pet that
and then
dog.
That plays into something a little bit later as well. But
I wouldn't.
That's the ghost kids are.
You're right. It's ghost kids. Earlier, I said it was the family, but you're right. It was the kids that were behind them, not the family.
It's the kids, and which kids that all gets revealed.
That all gets revealed later.
Yeah,
which
we'll end up all over the place if we start.
That is, if I'm remembering correctly, that is one of the scenes that I'm not okay with this movie. It's when they're in the house and you see the ghost kids running around doing all the.
Oh no,
that doesn't work for you.
Oh, dude.
I mean, it's not that it doesn't work for
that
me.
scares the shit out of Dylan.
It just kind of.
It gave me the same feeling as Pulse.
Did it
with the movie?
Yeah, with the dancing ghost, or whatever.
Like the flowing, Well, yeah, because the flowing movement, and you've noticed that, their movement speed is slow. Just them, they're slowed while Ethan is normal moving.
Yeah,
so it makes them seem somewhat out of this realm as well. It makes it kind of like moving between dimensions, because I don't know if he even could see him if he was looking right at him.
That's true.
But it was a lot of those like unpredictable, uncanny movements that I talked about in Pulse that really,
I don't mind
the most
that.
spine-chilling
cool.
scenes in the movie.
I like the movements. I don't know. There's something. I think like when you're looking at the movie and like how it's building suspense throughout the entire thing, and then we have this scene where it's just like ghost children jumping through the house.
I don't know that's scary as hell. I hate children.
I mean, I do too, but I don't know. You know, maybe I was more effective when I was younger. I didn't. I don't know. It's not that it hurts the movie or anything.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, not at all.
The creepy children trope.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I think this is
different.
Yeah. For me, it's different. Doesn't have to be for you, but for me personally, it is.
That's Dylan's way of saying you're wrong.
No.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Not it at all.
I know.
But there's actually a couple of scenes before that one, because I don't know if you and me, Mike, when you were saying there's a scene that comes later that kind of describes his true intentions.
Yes.
Is it the argument scene?
No, it's actually I was talking about the scene where he's drunk watching his previous interview with Kentucky Blood, and he's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about how you shouldn't write for money, you should just write to write, and etc. Where he's showing, like, you know, back before he really got all this money, that he was truly about writing to write. But
Yeah,
now,
talking all that shit.
now
Talking all
he-
that shit till that check comes in.
yeah, and then now he's all about the money. Like, we need, which is true to the world, of course. Like, you know, to facilitate the work in this world, you have to have money, and that's just the way it's designed. But like, it just shows the significant shift in that character from that point in time to now. That, like, oh, he really wasn't that concerned about, you know, writing. And he even says in the movie, to some extent, like, if you're writing for money, you should just stop writing. Like, you're not a writer.
That's his pretentious, like, that's
Yeah.
the person he wants to reflect to people. But it's in the argument scene that you hear a line out of him that truly, because that's when his wife finds out that they're in the house.
Well, it's because
Yeah.
the daughter painted on the wall. But go ahead, Pat.
Yeah.
The daughter painted on the wall, and basically a ghost child snitched on Ethan Hawke, and I was like, oh my god.
Even the deputy was like, "Oh man, I do not want to be in that conversation when you
he's
do."
like, dude, are you serious? You didn't tell your wife? Jesus Christ.
He said, "Hell no."
Yeah, like I wouldn't be that fucking stupid. But it's, first of all, the acting is very good in that argument scene. It's a very good, very intense exchange of emotions. But Ethan Hawke says he yells it, and he's just like, this is going to be my legacy. This is my legacy. This is blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So now he's changing it as, this is important because it's what he'll leave behind and it's his legacy. But his wife says, as any healthy, emotionally mature person would say, is it's not about you anymore. You have kids and a wife. You have a family.
Yeah.
That's not your legacy. It should be your fucking kids.
You know what I say to that? Fuck them kids, bro.
That really reveals his character as a narcissist and somebody who will brag, you know, or not brag, but like kind of project this outward courageousness.
He would boast
about what
it,
he's doing and like the reason he's doing things, but when in actuality, he doesn't care about his fucking kids. He doesn't care about his wife. He
wants the fame, the fortune.
He will pay 2 mortgages and move them into a house where 4 people in a family were just hung and a daughter went missing.
Well, to his
point,
don't
even know how bad
it wasn't in the house.
They don't even know how bad. They don't even know. They haven't seen any of the films. They don't know how fucked up it really is. But if she knew, she'd have left immediately.
The scene, he's like, well, it didn't. It happened backyard.
Yeah,
it happened in the backyard.
Are you fucking serious?
Like, it's not like the blood is on the carpet or like where you're sleeping, where our daughter sleeps. It was outside. Like,
she's like, you mean where our children play?
You so nuts, dude.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
But it's kind of crazy too, because at the very beginning of the movie. No, wait a minute. No, I don't want to reveal that. It doesn't happen in the beginning. It happens later. So,
yeah. Don't.
So, but the acting, I mean, that whole scene and the reveal of his character and his true motives, you start to go, wow, dude, you're a real fucking piece of garbage, shit, bro.
It was really funny. You know? I was watching this, and Issa was kind of watching and kind of like working at the same time, because I was watching it during the day the second time I watched it. And she was like, from what I'm understanding, this guy's a fucking asshole. I was like, oh, no, you're not wrong. You're absolutely 100% right. He is a piece of shit.
Yeah. No, you do not pick up on any sense of empathetic energy from that character whatsoever. Like, he's just and trust me, I've dated people like that, and fucking they're just so, oh, I'm so great. Oh, I do everything for everybody. And then it's just like, it's just to make yourself look good and it's just for your own personal
yourself
gain,
a pat on the
personal
back.
satisfaction. And it's just like, you know, it's all a bunch of hoo-ha. And now you don't, you lose a little bit of feeling for the main character, but it's also like you're in the position that his wife and kids are in. And you feel like, even to you, Ethan Hawke's like, I don't give a shit. I'm finishing the book, and none of you are gonna stop me. And it's just like, oh well, go ahead. I guess.
It's just a bunch of wildness.
But that's when he calls
hoopla.
That's when he calls Detective So and finds out about his friend.
Yes,
Professor
the
Jonas.
professor at the college who is a occult professor. Who,
A
Patrick?
occult crime expert. Who knew that was a thing, and how do I become one?
It definitely is a thing because there are occult
I didn't know.
type
An
crimes.
occult crime expert?
Bro.
Oh, man. You go to
What
college
are
for
you
that?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. You study the occult, and there are ritualistic killings that people do, like cults.
Well, fucking duh.
Cults.
But like what I'm saying, like I know that, but like I didn't know that like I never knew the official title. And
well, it's
I
not
didn't
like
know
it's
you
a
could
degree.
I didn't know you
It
could
got a
teach in it.
so no, he got so what more than happened is he got a degree in criminology, got a degree in psychology, and then when he probably went and did his dissertation, he studied and researched occultism and crimes linked to occultism, and that's why he teaches that because
Damn,
he's
that's
created this stuff.
That's a lot.
That's
Of
like
schooling.
there's not like a degree in occult criminology. It's that he has a bunch of different backgrounds, and like now that's his interests are in this, and that's what he researches and writes and teaches about.
I bet you
that's
there's
how that
some
works.
secret school in the sewers that fucking teaches that shit.
But
if any comic book was ever true that I ever read, there's a school somewhere underground that teaches people.
I was gonna say
teaches
something, and
Constantines.
then you threw me off. I was gonna say something.
You were gonna say something to me.
I was saying something to you, and I don't know what it was gonna be. So
something about the occult.
Oh yes, okay. So we're talking about this character in Patrick. Does this man that he talks to not remind you of a certain podcast that we used to listen to religiously back in the day?
Yes.
What is that podcast, Patrick?
The Black Tapes.
The Black Tapes podcast. He Strand. He sounds like Richard Strand.
Strand. Oh man, I haven't listened. All right, side note, off the movie for a minute, because I haven't picked up Black Tapes since probably the first breakup of this.
Oh,
podcast.
really? I mean, they have 3 seasons. I've listened to all 3.
Oh, really? Okay. Does it get?
So
I
for
can only
those
imagine.
side note, it's a great podcast. I'm not here to like promote them because they're huge, but if you're interested in like a weird storyline episodic podcast about this professor who has a whole bunch of black VHS tapes where he is trying to get people to prove the paranormal and he'll pay them like $1 million, you're gonna love this. It's fucking wild. But
yeah,
if you haven't listened to this, you're not going to understand this, but this professor that is in this movie reminds me of this professor in this podcast who is Dr. Richard Strand. And because even though this professor, studies this, it's not like he's like through and believes everything. Like he's like, this is what was depicted back in these times, like in the paintings and the writings about this ancient pagan deity named Bagul.
And he even said like most of the documents of the Bagul, whatever, were like destroyed, and these were the remaining things that they found.
Exactly,
which is interesting. Okay. I usually have an issue, especially in horror movies, when it's like, okay, here's the expert that comes out of nowhere and explains what the fuck the demon is or whatever the fucking thing is, right? Yes. It's a character just to further the plot.
Yeah.
I usually have an issue with that when it comes to storytelling, and especially in horror, because it comes off to me as like lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie is kind of like, I'm not really here to be like, this is the part that made the movie suck for me. Like, no, I first time I saw it, I'm like, fuck this, I hate this movie. Coming back to it now, I'm like, okay, this is not that. Okay, we kind of needed somewhat of an explanation. A part of me there's still a part of me that's like, yeah, if we didn't explain what Bagul was all about, I kind of would like that.
Yeah. But
we kind of have to explain, like, look, I guess we can explain what Bagul is now, right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
He possesses children.
Well, he's an eater of children.
Well, he's an eater of children, yes.
But you are correct in the sense that he technically kind of does not so much like possess them in like the natural terms that we think of possession based on possession horror films, but to say that these children aren't affected by his guidance to act possessed in certain ways is not wrong,
or to act sinister.
Ooh. Sinisterly in the darkness.
Ooh.
I mean, I agree with you, Pat. I usually do have a problem with this type of storytelling because it does come off as lazy when you're just. It sounds like you couldn't effectively tell your story, and you're using some like.
But all the
push-off
elements in this
character.
movie, all the other elements in this movie don't come off as lazy, so I forgive it.
Exactly, because like, and also it's used not heavily. It's like a small part of the film in the beginning where he's like sending him stuff, and they kind of things. And I think Dylan has an excerpt that is a little bit more longer than what we played in the beginning of the show. If he has it ready, if not, it's not a big deal.
No, it's ready.
Okay.
It's ready. But in between him getting the info about Professor Jonas and him finding out what this thing is, there's the fifth film. Can't leave out the fifth film.
Yes.
Lawn
The
Work.
fifth.
Lawn Work is the fifth film.
That's you and I's favorite.
Yeah. Lawn Work 86. Do we need to say anything? Do we need to say anything?
No.
No.
What do you do? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone like me, a man who mows his yard just about every weekend, you know.
What the fuck's a lawn?
You wouldn't know. You got a moat. But yes. Now that we
I pay
work,
HOA
use
fees.
your imagination. Just imagine what that would be
or
like.
just watch the movie. Yeah. So anyway, the actor now. Here's another thought that maybe will light some more fire under Patrick's butt. That is actor Vincent D'Onofrio.
Mm-hmm.
He's Kingpin.
No way.
And
He's
Daredevil.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
He did his whole performance through Skype. So here's the thing. They went to Vincent and said, do you want to be in this movie where you just dump exposition? And he goes, do I have to be there? And they go, no. But we're going to use
do you have a webcam?
We're going to use your image in the trailers so that people know that you're in this movie. They just don't know how much. And he goes, perfect. Send me a check and send me the Zoom email. I'll join. So he calls Kingpin. Okay, he's Kingpin. He calls Kingpin to explain the sample on the wall. He thought it was a pentagram, but he said it's not a pentagram, like the teenagers would draw, or the Norwegian black metal band with paint on the wall and goat's blood to be edgy and piss off the Christians.
That was all. We all three of us did that.
Which is a reference that I appreciate. You could tell somebody in this movie high up is a heavy metal fan to even fucking make that reference. But he does explain what he has found, and I'm going to go ahead and play that.
Oh, awesome.
All right, here we go.
30 years ago. Tell me about the one in Sacramento.
It's a symbol associated with the worship of a pagan deity.
A deity? What kind of deity?
A very obscure one, dating back to Babylonian times, named Bagul, the eater of children.
Did you say eater?
Yes, of children.
Yeah. Like,
eater.
Oh, yeah. No, did I not
children.
say that? Oh, it's of children. He eats children.
I'm sorry. Did I not just say that?
He
fucking
feasts on the
easily
youth.
And, he enunciated every word perfectly. Yeah, Bagul, eater of children. I'm sorry. Did you say children?
Did you just say?
Did you just say children?
And I love that he's like, oh, it's a low-key deity. You wouldn't know it. I knew this deity when they were just coming up and like, doing the local scene,
He's the deity hipster.
Yeah, he's the pagan deity hipster.
Oh,
the worst kind, really, if you think about it. But yeah, no, Bagul is he's an ancient Babylonian pagan deity that eats children, and his name is Bagul.
Grandchildren.
It's a
grandchildren.
Grandchildren.
And it's know what? Let's get to it. Let's just get to it. Bagul. Let's just fucking get into it. I have two business ideas.
Oh God.
It's Bagul's Bagels, ladies and gentlemen.
Bagul's Bagels.
You can get an everything Bagul. And everything
shit.
Bagul. You can get a bacon, egg, and cheese on a Bagul. You can have it all. You can have spread, schmear, whatever you want to do. But also an Italian deli called
Bagools.
Gabagools.
Oh, and the signature sandwich is the
Gabagools.
bagool.
Yeah, the Gabagools, and then it's just a bagool and a little paper hat on and his
That's
Slipknot
fucking
mask. And
Slipknot.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He's the worst part of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do
He
you got,
just
Pat?
injects a form of silliness
It
because
does.
the movie is so good without him. Without him, it's so good because it's like, how much more fucked up would it be if the kids like just did it?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like that would just be pretty non-believable. You'd have to have some sort of like ultra strong demonic dark force to propel them to do such horrific things. But
I don't think so.
he's
Kids
just
are
so
awful nowadays.
silly. He's just so silly. I might as well see Jigsaw, the puppet. I might as well on his trike, just riding his trike in the back while people. It's like it's very silly to me. Like he's to me the least scariest part of the whole movie.
I'll tell you though, the pool, when he pops up out of when he's in the attic. But I will say the pool scene was the most effective of him using him as an image.
I agree.
Other than that, you're absolutely right. It's like this movie when it gets to explaining who Bagul is and what he does, it's like you lost your Sinister and you got a Bagul.
I will say that
you got Baguled.
So I think so I agree. I think that when you think of other films around this time that are Blumhouse, so we're thinking of Insidious, the makeup for the demon that was like possessing or taking over the little boy in that movie was top tier, like terrifying. It was.
Oh, you're talking about Darth Maul?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But still, even though it resembled Darth Maul, it still was an effective creature character they created.
Oh, the first time I saw that, my bones jumped out of my skin. That was scary.
You were Baguled?
I was, and you know what? Maybe Bagul was scarier the first time I saw him, but I've seen this movie so many times. I just think he's a little silly. I think I've had meme culture.
I think it could have been
time with meme culture to.
I feel like he could have been made a little bit more terrifying. I think that they dialed it back just a little bit, but then again, it gets kind of hard. Like, how do you portray effectively this like obscure Babylonian deity? But but I can tell you right now, he's not wearing a 3-piece suit. Like,
why is he dressed like that?
Yeah,
I don't understand the costume aspect to it.
What are you
also, why not get Mitch from Slipknot to play that character?
Exactly. Oh my god, that would have been fucking amazing.
Because that guy is terrifying. He's fucking tall, giant.
He's got that metal mask.
Come on.
Bagul had to go to the big and tall section at the men's warehouse.
Yeah.
To get that suit.
Yeah,
he's just not. And the way they use him is very like, I think at this point, how the movie produces its scares and its feeling of dread. I think that the pop-up scares, in which I guess it's kind of a reminder that you're in a horror movie, but I don't really think that was a necessary reminder. I think think that this is the best example of a very good movie committing cardinal sins.
Yeah. That
just water it down, and it's the jump scares to rely on the reminder that you're watching something scary, and the half-assed exposition dump. Yeah. Which
and that too, and it's like we don't get to see like any Bagul action until the third act, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
What I liked a little bit too was like the whole movie. You're thinking it's his son that's gonna be like possessed or whatever, or the one that Bagul's like taking over or whatever. But no, it's the youngest kid. So it pulls a Bagul on you.
But now, so I pose a question.
You in fact get Baguled.
I pose a question for the two of you. So if you noticed,
I'm not going to answer it.
That's fine. Maybe the listener can chime their answers in the messages and tweets or whatever. It appears that overall the films, and once we kind of understand that the Bagul is the one who is organizing these horrific crimes to be committed by children, they appear to all be the younger child, right?
Yeah, the youngest, right?
So I'm wondering if Bagul's power eventually fades away once the kid gets to a certain age. Like maybe his ability to draw.
No, they're dead. They're dead. He
Well,
eats the
yeah.
kids.
Yes, I get that, but I'm talking
Like,
about like
They
the
don't get
kid.
older.
I mean, their souls. Their soul. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
He doesn't go after the
he doesn't
the
go
other
after
children.
the older children in the movies. Like
It
it's
might be
always
that-
the younger child, and I'm wondering if like
It-
he's unable to manipulate older children. He has to go after younger ones because maybe they're
Look,
more
man, I
easier
get
to
it.
manipulate.
The older I get,
I don't know.
the less I can eat. You know, I can't put food away like I used to. So it's like, damn, I might have to downgrade to the smallest child. But so be it. I still get to eat a child. That's not bad, right?
Just gotta need the
Ghoulie?
smaller one.
Yeah.
Right, Baguli?
But,
Am I right,
but
boy?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. Bagul has to go for the Happy Meal.
yeah, he's going for the. He's going for the
It might
bite-size.
be the element. Yeah, it might be like how it only goes for children because they're easier to scare
Yeah.
or to manifest into their fears
Mhm.
because it's not like it doesn't turn to like a bill or a debt or something.
But what I think is
So
fun-
that yeah.
go ahead, Pat. Go.
No, go.
I was just gonna say I just think that's funny, a thing to think about. And then finally Ethan Hawke's character is like, fuck all this. Tries to burn the films and they get the fuck out of the house. They're
Bagul
driving
pops out
down
at
the
him from
street.
side. He pops out. Like,
Yeah,
he goes
boop,
up
boop, boop.
to the attic, and there's all
The
the
attic.
kids
The
watching
kids
the
are all
film.
like, shh.
And they do that. That's
And
another
that
thing I
right
hate
there
when,
is
like,
it.
when they
I
do the
hate
shush
that
thing.
so
I
much.
hate that. I hate
The
that.
shush. Like what? Why? What does that mean? Like what? I don't understand.
This movie
Like,
didn't
it
need to
doesn't
do
make
any of these
sense.
things.
No,
Like, the movie didn't
it's
do
like
any of this.
the first 75% of this film is badass, and then we get to this final arc where they fucking stab themselves in the toe, and
Yeah.
it hurts itself.
Well, it doesn't seem like it was confident enough to be like standalone as like, okay, now we need by numbers, like these are the things that are in horror movies that
yeah,
are elements that make a horror movie. So they're like, all right, you gotta have a pop-up scene where Bagul comes out and he's like scares you.
yeah.
You
And
have
that's
to
what
have
James
you have to have
Wan is
him
known
burn.
for.
They feel
Yeah.
like it feels like producer notes.
But James Wan does it the best, and that's why no one else should try to do
Exactly.
that.
It definitely felt
But-
like producer notes. Like what's going
It
on
did.
here? You need a big actor to explain what's going on, and then
I
and then
agree.
they're like, yeah, and then you have to have the monster pop out and jump scare people. Like you have to do that.
But
And
I will
feel like
say,
if they didn't do that, they would have got the A24 wouldn't have done it.
ooh, dude,
They wouldn't have done that. Could you imagine this movie was made by
Ooh.
A24?
A24 and my boy Robert Eggers. Ooh.
Yeah, would have. Yeah,
Oh.
would have been something,
But
that's
I
the
will
thing, the
say
movie's
this,
still
there is-
incredible.
The movie's fantastic, and it does give you something that you don't normally see with these types of like paranormal movies that are attacking a family, which is the family wards off the evil spirit. This movie does not give you that, and I fucking love the way this movie goes out. And I
Well,
think
he
this is the
kind
only
of-
redeeming thing. So
I mean, he kind of does that with the burning.
oh, he
of
thinks he tries,
He thinks, yeah,
which I like. Again, all this stuff sets up for something that's fantastic. He burns the projector. He burns the reels. They leave town. They get out of the house. They go back to their original home. He thinks they're safe, and then what the fuck does he find in the shit that he brought with him? The fucking movies again. And then
yeah, and the projector.
And just burned
these. How are they here?
and then he starts to see now, for at this point, he can see the children because he sees the director's cut, the extended versions, the unreleased versions, the steelbooks, the 4K ultra high def edition of this movie. And then we see all the kids who do the stupid
It's the
shush
behind scenes.
thing. Yeah. But then we see now eventually like it's the children committing these murders. They're the ones killing their families.
The missing
Um,
children.
And then
Because I guess you see director's cuts of the films
yeah.
where they
Yeah.
go on longer, and it reveals it shows kids.
It's the making of the barbecue.
Yeah. It shows that every kid in the videos come out and they do the shush thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
my favorite one is the one when the family's hanging and the little girl grabs onto her mom's feet and hangs.
Yes,
from
that
her
one
mother
was
like
fun.
a fucking tire iron.
That was so fucking
tire
funny.
swing. That was really effective because it was chilling because it was so innocent.
Yeah. So then
what she did was not innocent.
No, not at all. She fucking hung her family. So we have all this, and then we have the title or ending to this movie that I think is fantastic. Oh, the sweet little girl comes to her debut. We find out that Ethan was right, that this man, if they were at this like early in the movie, they're posing hypotheses saying, well, he could be old and he could be drugging his victims. And we do find out that all the victims were drugged. He's chugging his fucking scotch and then he fucking collapses. What do you know? I don't know how the little girl fucking drugged them, where she got the supplies.
At Bagul's pharmacy.
I guess. But then she proceeds to fucking hack her family to fucking pieces. There is no happy ending in this movie.
That's what. Okay,
and
so that's where the movie saved itself. The movie saved itself on that because I remember the first time watching this, I'm like, if there's a happy ending, I'm leaving.
Exactly,
because this guy does not deserve it.
And I think like so often, like with horror movies, we always get a happy ending, right? For the most part, most movies, we always get some type of conflict resolution where our protagonist is walking off the screen, surviving to live another day, enter our final girl, whatever. But I really do love movies that when they do these things and they give you an ending that is like, you can't escape it. Like what powers do you have to battle a fucking ancient deity? You don't have anything. You don't possess the power to beat something that survived time. You know what I mean? Like, so I always like when they do things like this, especially with paranormal movies, more so because it is otherworldly. It is the spiritual being. Like, how are you going to beat it when you don't know anything about it?
See,
it reminds me of go.
I feel like
you go, Dylan.
Horror movies are the opposite of that. I feel like of the good ending. I think you just have to look at like the classics and like look at Halloween, not a good ending, but not a happy ending, and look at Friday the 13th Part 1, not a happy ending.
Well, I was about
look at Night of the Living Dead,
paranormal the first Paranormal Activity, not a happy ending.
Not a happy ending.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I like, but again, a lot of those movies set themselves up for a sequel, right? This movie,
well, this one
they made a sequel because it made money.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is it made a sequel when it shouldn't have. Like, this movie should be a standalone film. There should be no 100%. Sequel. We don't need anything else from this movie. So if you think of that as if you think of it as like a non-sequeled movie, getting this type of ending would be more satisfying than getting anything else. Because technically, think about it, Halloween, all these movies, they're setting it up for another movie, like Part 2 or Part 3, etc. They're always building up to be more. Like with Friday the 13th, we get Jason popping out of the water. Like, I mean, like,
but like
they set things up.
I don't think
this movie didn't set anything
Halloween,
up.
I don't think they knew what they were how good it was gonna do. And Evil Dead didn't have
correct,
a good
but
ending.
I'm
so it's like all these movies.
But Evil Dead 2 is also a remake of the Evil Dead. So I mean, but I'm saying is
but it still
Sinister
doesn't have a positive ending. Like it still doesn't. He still gets.
But
attacked.
no, you're hanging on to the positive aspect of this. This is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is we don't get a hero's ending. We're not getting a hero's ending.
Ethan's not really a hero,
but he is. He isn't. But he definitely goes the hero's journey, 100%. He reclaims himself by at the third story arc when he burns the films and chooses to save his family over his fame and fortune that he wants so badly. 100%, he redeems himself as the hero. But
at that point, that's what he sees himself as. But at that point, if he's truly the hero, he never would have done that. He never would have been there under the circumstances at all.
You have to look at all hero journeys. They all always think they're doing what's best for themselves and the others, ignoring the consequences around them of their actions because they think what they're doing is for the best.
Yeah, but that doesn't
realizing
make him a hero.
what they're doing. But no, I'm talking about with writing, when you're talking about a hero's journey.
Like the concept is called the hero's quest.
Yes. It's called the hero's quest. Iliad's Odyssey,
Well,
like,
that's
all of this
misleading,
stuff. No, it's not.
Because that makes him sound like he's going on some sort of like positive, like affirming quest where it's like he's
Never,
going on
because
a quest.
what a
it's-
hero thinks their quest is going to be is never what actually becomes the
yeah.
journey. Like what I'm saying is that this movie was never. It doesn't feel like this movie was set up for a sequel, right? We get a cold, hard ending. The family is brutally murdered. There is nothing you can do. Once you see Bagul, it's it. You're done. You're axed. You're bombed. You're drowned. You're slaughtered. You're burnt. Like there is no winning, and that's what I'm talking about. Like when I'm talking about, like, I'm glad that they didn't give us some weird story arc ending where like Ethan Hawke's character battles Bagul and saves his family.
No, exactly. So at the time too, when we were at 2012, we were already really deep into horror movies. We could predict these type of movies what they were going to end like. And with this one, I thought we were going to get that type of ending where Ethan Hawke somehow fights Bagul and then Bagul goes away forever.
Exactly.
But we didn't get that, and that I remember my reaction after watching this for the first time in theaters. I was like, "Fuck yes, we didn't." It is not set up for It's not set up for a sequel. It's not set up to be a franchise. If we got another movie, it could be in its own thing, and that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it had a start, a beginning, it had a beginning and an end,
Exactly.
and it closed its own book in that movie.
And no one survived. I think that is what I like about it. These characters are
Because
killed.
even the daughter doesn't live.
Exactly.
I mean,
the
they
whole
don't
family
show it,
is
but-
done.
Yeah,
I think it's
And
called
that's
family
sad,
painting
too,
or something.
Well, it's sad too because it's like Patrick mentioned earlier. Like, yeah, Ethan Hawke got what he deserved, but what about his wife and what about his son? Did they deserve? what
Well,
happened to them?
unfortunately,
Yeah.
they are faced
The movie's called Sinister.
They are faced
Yeah,
with
no.
the
They doesn't give a
consequences-
fuck.
They are faced with the consequences of Ethan's actions
Yeah.
or Ellison's actions.
I know.
They have to,
Sad.
unfortunately, because they're a part of his journey. They have to go through what he has unleashed on them, whether it's been known to them or not. And that's what makes it even worse because, like, everything he did,
Also-
he thought he was
Mhm.
doing it for, like, of course, like, it's for him, like his ego. He needs to do this for me. But there's a small little
But
nugget in
he
there.
he justifies that by saying it's for the families, for money, so we
Exactly.
could have a good life.
That's how
And-
he's justifying everything. It's like, we need the money.
Yeah, and that's why he looks at himself as the hero in this
Yeah.
this story. Another thing too is like, look, if in the wife's perspective, if I found out that we moved in the house that the people got murdered in, I'm like, cool, you can stay here and write your fucking book.
We're leaving.
I'm taking the kids. We're going back to that big house that we had back in home.
Well, she even
Yeah.
said she was
Mind
gonna stay
you,
at her
they left a
sister's.
fucking mansion.
Well, I
Yeah,
get it.
that
They
house
couldn't
was
afford
nice.
it. The house was beautiful. I wish we were like,
So they're paying 2 mortgages because
Yeah.
they couldn't afford the first one.
yeah,
Oh, you know what? You know what helps save money for the first mortgage? Another one.
more, yeah.
Another one.
But I'll say this: overall, I would say that, despite its flaws with the third act, to me, it is a kind of a standout feature for its time.
Yeah.
It's it's inventive, it's terrifying. The use of found footage really pulls me in. The home videos that Ellison discovers are like they're really disturbing, and they provide, I think, some of the most frightening and unforgettable moments in the movie. Honestly, and I think that's what really pulls it all together is the found footage element.
It's honestly what it is the element that gives us the name of this movie, rightfully so.
Exactly.
That's the only parts that are sinister to me in this movie.
Yeah, it is the home
But yeah.
videos. Ethan Hawke kills it to me. I think he kills it in this movie. His performance is top tier. Overall, I mean, that's just him in his entire like filmography. He doesn't
Training
ever
Day.
disappoint.
My God, dude.
Come on, before
Ethan
midnight,
Hawke's an
before
incredible actor.
sunrise, and before all those are fucking great movies.
I mentioned Gattaca earlier, a very underrated sci-fi classic, dude. Reality Bites.
Reality
Dude,
Bites.
One of
no.
Ben Stiller's first.
Have you
one of
not
Ben
watched
Stiller's
Before
first movies.
Sunrise? Have you not watched
Oh,
Before
yeah.
Sunrise?
Before
Fantastic
Sunrise and
movies.
Before Sunset.
And Before Midnight.
He was in The Purge too.
and
He was
Purge.
in The Purge.
I like the
Yeah, first Purge movie. He was the dad.
Um,
So that's 3. That's Blumhouse too, right? The Purge.
yes.
Yeah, it's
So that's
Blumhouse.
3 Blumhouse movies.
This
he's
man's
in.
a Blumhouse aficionado. He fucking loves Blumhouse.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I think
He loves those checks. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what.
Yeah.
I mean, overall,
Because I
for
guarantee
me,
you, he got most of the money.
oh yeah, he's the
Yeah,
A-list
most of that
actor
$3
in this
million
whole
after
fucking
that went to
movie.
him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's A-list actor in
Yeah.
this movie.
Because they
Um,
film in one spot and it's just really Ethan Hawke. And that's really it.
It's
And then Bagul, and then that's really, you know.
I love it. One of the reviews that I have up, the ending of it is, while the film's conclusion may not satisfy all viewers, it is undeniably a chilling and memorable cinematic experience. Talking about the whole film, and it's like, it's true. The first big chunk of this movie is great. The third act is chuff to chew. You do get a fun little ending, but that's it. For me, I would say, if I'm looking at this movie and I'm looking at a 1 to 5 rating system, I'm gonna give this a solid 3. It's fun. I liked watching it again after a long time. I think it's one of those movies that played during Halloween or October and just kind of have playing in the background. And do not watch number 2. Don't do it to yourselves.
Do it. Do it.
No, it's
Use your
bad.
anger.
It's very bad.
Lose your anger, Luke. Join the dark side of the Force.
Do it.
Pat, what about you?
Do it. A 3's. I give it a 3 as well. That's a good score.
3?
Again, the same thing. The same complaints you have, I do. It's near. It's almost a perfect scary Halloween movie, but there's those elements, and you know what? Like, it does feel like it was added on notes that make those elements that what we complain about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was like test screenings, and they're like, yeah, but we need these elements into the movie, and that's what kind of like with the third act. But then again, it savaged itself when it comes to like not having a happy ending.
And it's original. I mean, it's an original film. Like, it's an original type of concept of a movie. Like, it's fun. Dialogue.
Yeah.
I want to give it a 3
Okay.
because of all the things that we mentioned earlier, as far as the exposition and just having that character in there, and all the other things that were, you know, the jump scares that were unnecessary, the villain not being the scary thing, not being one of the strongest parts. If not, it's your horror movies, monsters is the weakest part of your movie.
Yeah,
it's not that great, but everything else that makes it that movie,
it gave us good memes.
Pushes against it. I think I wanted to get. I'm in between a 3 and a 4, so I'm gonna go 3.5. Just because.
There you go.
All right.
I think if you take Bagul out, which you can't, but if you took him out and just focused on the atmosphere, the lighting, the soundtrack, and you just want to go on a very kind of, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it's, as far as like Ethan Hawke, Blumhouse films go, it's better than The Black Phone.
Yes,
definitely.
And I think I haven't seen The Purge in a while, but it's my guess it's better than The Purge. So
Don't get me started on that shit.
So for me,
3.5?
I think 3.5 is good.
Yeah. All right. That's not
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
3.5 with 2 3s. It'd probably just round down to a 3 overall. I mean, again, it's a great atmospheric, thrilled horror that has a great soundscape and the found footage. So if you guys haven't watched it and you stuck through the podcast to see, like, maybe I want to watch it, but I want to hear what these 3 dudes have to say about it, we hope you like it.
People do that.
Some people do that. You know, go and watch it. You know, enjoy the movie.
My brother
yourself.
does that. He listens to us, and he doesn't care if he's seeing the movie or not. He's going to listen, and then he's just going to watch the movie.
You know what?
Because I'm pretty
those
sure
those people should be accounted for.
I'm pretty sure he listened to our Evil Dead Rise episode before he watched it.
Awesome.
But my brother absolutely loved Evil Dead Rise,
Yeah,
and I
dude,
mean, we all gave that movie a 5.
That's because it's a fun fucking movie.
Yeah.
I watched it again because it's on VOD now.
Yeah.
Still a good time.
I'm just gonna buy it. Hopefully, there's a nice 4K UHD
Oh, there is.
release.
There is on the 24th. You're gonna get a 4K ultra high def release. So just wait your nipples.
I need to figure out where to buy that.
Wait for your nipples.
So we again, you know, whatever you did, if you watched it and you didn't, you came back. Who cares? We want to hear from you. Tell us your thoughts about Sinister. I actually did have a couple of little fans who wrote out and gave me quick little bits of what they thought about the movie, and I did want to make sure I read those for the show.
All 5 of them?
Read this for the fucking show, so I'm glad I remembered that. But, you know, Cold X Hands, our boy Sean, if you don't like Sinister, all your horror opinions are invalid, which I thought was hilarious. Keith and his cameras saw it in theaters and loved it. It was creepy and definitely had a dark tone. Hope it holds up today. someone Necro 818 underrated movie, does not get talked about enough, and I think that's true. I think it's one of those movies that kind of got
It's
swept
true.
under the rug, and I think
Just
Sinister,
because
I
it's
think
not a
Sinister
5.
2, I think Sinister 2 really tainted it too. I think people think
It
of
did.
and it fucked it up.
The first movie would be in much better light and regard if that second movie
didn't exist.
didn't soil it, and just also in the name of it being
Soiled it.
a sequel cash grab kind
Yeah.
of muddies the waters of a otherwise original and so to me an original concept for a horror movie of that time.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We love to hear your guys' thoughts. So please, we love listener interaction. Tell us what you think about the movies we're watching. Tell us what you want us to watch and review and discuss on the show. We love that shit.
And most importantly, what do you want Dylan
exactly.
to watch?
Tell us what you want
No.
Dylan to watch.
no, no.
But I want
Yes.
I want to go ahead and I want to thank you guys for joining us from this thrilling journey through the world of horror on the Horror Junkies podcast. We hope you enjoyed the spine-chilling discussions, review, the insights into, hopefully your favorite genre. Hopefully you're sticking around for a genre that you love and not just here to listen to us heavy breathe and talk about movies you fucking hate. But it's also the show doesn't end here, guys. We're on platforms, so get connected with us, whether that's through Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, fucking YouTube, Twitch. Hang out with us, follow us on the social medias. You guys can click the links below, share your thoughts, recommendations. We're trying to build up an episode where we're going to talk about these weird found footage things that are going on TikTok, people showcasing these weird doorbell camera footage or game trail cameras. So if you got some weird stories like that or weird footage you haven't really showed anyone, or you're on the 4chan paranormal boards, shoot us some weird shit. We'd love to see it, watch it, and put it in the show. As always, we appreciate your support, and we encourage you guys to keep telling your friends and your mom about us. We wouldn't be here without you.
Send us TikToks.
Yeah, send us TikToks, whatever that means. But always, guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Pat.
I'm Dylan.
Stay weird.